Hello everybody, what is up? Cobra here. In this video I wanted to show you guys my newest game that you'll be able to download called Axis and Allies World at War. So, for those of you that might find this familiar, I've basically taken aspects from Xenogames World at War, which was a 1939 start date, kind of modified version of the original Milton Bradley Axis and Allies game. And then I've taken the artwork from that game and sort of combined them together into this Axis and Allies World at War. So basically, the original 1980s map art is probably some of my favorite board game map art ever. So I wanted to basically take that and expand it a little. I really enjoy the original game, but I also like games like Global 36 that give you a lot of units and options to work with. But I don't really like the long run time, and especially when I'm trying to find players to play these games with, you know, it's difficult getting a whole weekend together to play one of these games. So for that, I have created this. I've taken Xenogames World at War, which is expanded but not too big of a game in terms of playtime, and then I've combined it with the map art and some of the original mechanics from Axis and Allies. This isn't just the map. I've created setup charts for all the different nations here, and as you can see, pretty much all the rules are written out for each of the different countries. There are special units, like you can see here for Britain. They get commando infantry. So for this game, I've also created an expanded battle board, which kind of is in reference to the original 1980s Axis and Allies with the new units, and you can see them all here. Kind of following those original rules, along with a technology tracker chart. You can see here, if you print this out, you'll have the turn tracker with kind of player aids for each turn, along with an expanded technology tracker with multi-turns, and of course the atom bomb, and then the turn tracker here, along with victory conditions. So overall, just taking a quick look at the map, you can see there are a few more territories for those of you who may have seen the original 1980s map. You can see here in Europe we have like an independent Poland, Finland, Norway, Sweden, combined Germany and Italy. That's basically keeping with the original player count of a 5-player game. So I didn't want to add Italy as a country, even though I really kind of wanted to. There's France there for Germany to invade first round, and an expanded Soviet Union. You can see this game just finished with me and my friends. We were just playing it out, and it was really fun. You can see that the Axis kind of got a historical ending with the Russians rolling into Germany proper, the Allies launching a D-Day attack. The Russians actually captured the Italian fleet because in this game now ports are a thing to help the Axis kind of keep their warships around. Other countries get ports, but basically you can hide 3 ships in there and they have an anti-aircraft gun to defend them. So you either have to come in with aircraft or take the territory. You can see here in the east, China was actually playing a really good game. You can see China has more territories, so the Japanese were having trouble pushing in, but the Chinese ended up coming out, especially with aid from the French. You can see a lot of French armor coming out of Indochina, and the Chinese and Americans took Manchuria from the Japanese, and the Americans also launched an invasion of Japan. Now in the final naval battle, Japan was able to knock out the American Navy, but with Japan and Berlin falling, that's the end of the game. It ended in a Russian major victory and an Allied minor victory, and that's because the Russians are a third faction, kind of like in Global 36, and they're not as aggressively against the Allies as in games like 1936. They can win a major victory by capturing Berlin and holding all of their land territories, but at the same time the Allies, or they can't declare war on the Allies unless the Russians hold Berlin, and the Allies can't declare war unless that need is met. So you can't really just declare war out of the blue on each other. But In addition to this, I'll pull up over here another game that I've been working on, and that is a World War I version of this that I've called Central Alliance. Like this game, Central Alliance also has a battle board and its own turn tracker, along with separate tracker sheets for all the different countries. Central Alliance is based off of the original Central Powers expansion set for the original Milton Bradley game, and that is basically a very fast-paced World War I game. You know, it's not super historically accurate, but it basically gives you the nice map art of the original game with some expanded territories, as well as having a pretty cool World War I theme to it with new units and mechanics. So both of this game and Central Alliance will be available on my Patreon page for free download. You just go on there to the post and then download the file, and it contains all the different files you need to print it. So I hope you guys enjoyed looking at these games, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Cobra out.